Your job is not to get masterful objection handling. The mastery is being like, how do I handle all these things up front so I don't have to deal with the objections? A lot of the guys on these calls, they get on with prospects who have been pitched the same thing by like 72 other people. And then they go in, some of them not knowingly, and they say the same shit that other people say. Like, I can teach you all the objection handling, but what did everyone just hear the prospect say? This just looks like all the other systems. Oh, you just entered a commoditization war. Because what most people do in the space, they go, I don't know if I could just help you yet. I'd have to learn a little bit about your situation. Why don't you tell me this? Let me ask you that. Let me interrogate you. And then 7 other people do the same thing. And then by the time they get to you, they're just like, guys, please, just someone tell me something. The harsh reality for everyone here to understand, especially if you sell something high ticket, an unagitated, undisturbed prospect will never buy. Because most prospects are not problem aware. They're problem accustomed.
When you get like a Karen on the phone or someone that's like, hey, just tell me what the pricing is.
If you think Karens are out there, like you're already losing the battle, don't put impressions and judgments on people. If you think she's a Karen, they're going to be a Karen, and you're going to build a Karen. Steve is there's a ton of amateur salespeople that burn the marketplace by amateur conversations because of that old way of thinking.
It's so good.
She's like, yeah, I'm in a garage, so there's not much light. We could just reschedule for a better time.
You're going to burn the deal.
Real quick, crazy win. Ending the week at $15,000.
That's a pattern interrupt right there.
All influence, all persuasion at the highest level, it's actually in the prep work. How does that make you feel? You know, what do we look like? They say all the same stuff. And I'm like, you're kind of now just bucketed as the same thing. Time quantifies the problem. So if he tells me, no, I've been wanting this for the last 5 years, I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's a different problem than I just thought about this 2 weeks ago.
The energy that you bring, because I feel like what I've connected so far, so many of the sales trainers are like this very like detached, almost like therapist type conversation. And that stuff might work. I don't know if it works in high ticket sales. So I've noticed that like what you're selling is much more of like, it's hospitality as well as sales. It's like taking care of people and bringing the energy. So I appreciate it.
Colby, you nailed it. Great to have you. I mean, end of the day, when people say, does it work in high ticket? I'm like, it's a human. I'm like, do you bore your death to humans when you talk to them and be neutral and disengage? And I'm like, no one does that in real life. And if you did it in your world, it would never make any sense.
No.
So that's incredible. So generally these calls are a little bit crazy. So what we'll do is we will break down some people's, for my newer faces here, we'll break down some live sales call reviews. We'll also take live Q&A calls. Some of them I'll jump on and do a live sales call. I was actually trying to tee up a sales call over this. So in the second half, you guys, we figured out a way that I could live stream me doing a sales call. So I was going to do a new offer, new industry live stream call. Could not get the timing lined up, but in the coming weeks, I'll also be streaming live sales calls that you guys will watch. So it's a bit of mix of everything, but what could be fun that I'd love to hear, and also to add some extra value, what specific questions or things are showing up for you right now that you may be like, what would be a different perspective or an insight or something that's showing up in your world?
There's two pieces. The one piece that I've connected with a lot is the high performance. Like, I like the energy that you bring. I'm trying to like crush it outside of work primarily, and then, you know, integrate that with work. And so like I'm connecting with that a lot. But the part that I've learned just from going through the course that you have so far is like the roofing example was really powerful. It was like, okay, how do I naturally ask questions in a way that like causes this person to like actually have an emotional reaction and think about, like, add the pressure to create urgency through the questions I'm asking in a natural way, and not in a way of like, well, how does that make you feel? You know what I mean? But like in a natural way.
So maybe I'll give you a short answer that could be super powerful, because it sounds like you already do a lot of the prep work, the proactiveness. I know you mentioned you've been in a few courses before, and the fact I know exactly which video you're referencing. That was with me and Johnny Ma. I love that. So I know you're already doing the work, so I want to give you extra value here. The biggest part of like, how do you sound natural and you do that, is all influence, all persuasion at the highest level. It starts at the persuasion. It's actually in the prep work. So what I mean by that is, you already have enough experience from the business and life that you kind of know some of the situations and the things that come up. And you have to start thinking in advance, okay, they're probably going to have this thought. They're probably going to have this belief. They're probably going to have this thing show up. And you have to think of different ways to come at the same angle with like, how do I not trigger them? So I'll give you a prime example. You're new to the group, okay? I don't have that much rapport with you, but it sounds like you already watched some things. So maybe there's already some connection we have, okay? Because you're new, notice the question I asked you. I didn't say, hey, what are you struggling with in sales? Because I don't know if you have a high ego or not. If you have a high ego and you take someone, he's like, well, who do you think you are? Who do you think I am? What do you mean I'm not struggling with everything? Everything is good. So I'm like, I lost any connection I could have with you because I triggered you because of an ignorant question that I asked. Because if I just went in and said, hey, what are you struggling with in sales right now? Do you follow? If you listen to what I said, I'm trying to get to the same outcome. I'm trying to get to what are you struggling with? But what I said was, I guess what's kind of showing up in your world, in your sales process, or something that's coming that you're hoping could be a little bit different, or you want to change, or see, I came at the same thing, but I came at it in a way less invasive manner.
Mhm.
Do you understand? So you kind of go in the same context that applies universally to anything that anyone is selling here, right? You can come to the same thing, but you have to learn how to ask different questions based on the different people, based on the relation, how much rapport, no rapport, cold, a little bit warmer, that kind of stuff. If someone looked you guys up, they're coming to your office, not coming to your office, and you gotta learn to navigate and maneuver that. Okay. So the really big thing, it's not super sexy, but a lot of it is actually in the prep work. Like when you have that interaction with someone, let's say it doesn't go great, or it does, you have to stop and think and be like, okay, if I could hit the redo button, okay, what could I have said differently here? Is there a story, an analogy, an example, a previous client, customer experience, a similar? Is there something else that I could share or do or bring up here that could have shifted the conversation? Because a lot of times what happened, it's something a salesperson says or doesn't say that just triggers the prospect. And at some point, they either feel some sales resistance, they feel some sales pressure, or they feel that you care more about your paycheck than you care about them. So when I look at my mission in life is to turn selling into serving and making high performance a way of life. So the ideology behind that is if someone's in a sale, I only care that you know that I only care about you. And that's always my dominant frame. I only care about you. I care about what's in your best interest. If your best interest aligns with me working with you, amazing. If it doesn't, amazing. I'm still going to support you and love you and care about you. So the longer answer is all sales need to have some intention in advance of thinking through the questions and the dynamics, but also from the high performance standpoint is you have to think about how do I want to show up for the group right now? Okay. If my team saw me, I feel like death. I had 1% recovery, hot sweats, flashing, I don't know, 20 times dizzy today already. Almost passed out at the gym, want to puke my guts out. I feel like absolute death. If you ask me what I want to do, I just want to lay on the ground and someone like stand on my face. That's what I feel. Pounding migraine. But I have to go in between and I'm like, okay, they don't need to hear my struggle and feel that. And I'm like, how do I want to show up in this engagement? So I have to consciously think about what's the energy that I want to bring into this room. You follow? And when I have clarity on how do I want to show up, I'm like, okay, now I know what I'm working towards. Now I know how I want to engage. Now I want to know how I want to connect here. So I have to go, okay, I have to show up and I have to be patient. I have to be loving. I want to bring the energy. I want to bring the life. Do you follow? So some of that is before I entered this interaction, I had to have that moment of intention of how I want to show up here. Right? Because it's so easy. Like if I use an example, and everyone here can think in the online space, someone just shows up to your office, hops on a Zoom, and there was never a moment of an intention of how you wanted to engage with that person. Do you follow? Someone calls you. How many times do we get a call and we just respond? Right? A practice that I build is when someone calls, I'm like, before you answer it, okay, I'm like, oh, how do I want to show up? What energy do I want to give this person? And the odd times I miss that, guess what? I show up like a dum-dum. And it's just even just learning that subtle pieces of how do I want to show up in this interaction? Your friend calls you, a partner calls you, sale calls you, a lead, an inbound or whatever. And you have to think through how do I want to show up and connect with this person? Because it'll actually, even without thinking it through, okay? So just simplistically here thinking, if you said they want friendly, trustworthy, patient, thorough, diligent, ultimately what you're also saying is caring. Because for you to be thorough and diligent, that means you have to care about someone.
Yes.
Do you follow? So if you go and you're like, hey, I'm about to interact with this person, and you just said, okay, how can I show up even more caring and patient and thorough? Do you follow? Okay. I was just on a sales call because I went back to back, and I was watching the clock. I only had 34 minutes with the individual. And I was like, I'm going to run out of time. And I was like, I don't want to just rush him so I could be on time for my call. Right. So I remember my intentions. I'm like, my job is to serve. So I'm like, I'm not going to rush him because I don't want to do him a disservice and I don't want to rob him or I have the experience. So what I did is I pinged someone in Slack and I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to need someone to come in and collect payment because I won't be here for it. Because I just want to stay and follow through on the sale. You vote because I had to come back to the intention of how I wanted to show up and serve. But I'm very clear about that. And I know what that looks like. And part of that for me is not skipping the process, not trying to rush it. Because if I'm trying to rush it, who's that about? It's about me. So I defy, I'm no longer in service to the person because it's about them. Right. And around that 30-minute mark, we're in like their goals and this and helping them get clarity and all of that. I'm like, I'm not going to rush you just so I could get to a pitch and a close. Because that doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve me. Do you follow? So I come back to the intention. I get someone, I do the intro, make sure, celebrate them. They collect payment. I leave so I could be here with you guys. Right. But just that intention of how do I be more patient? How do I be more present? How do I be this? A lot of the guys on these calls, they get on with prospects who have been pitched the same thing by like 72 other people. Right. And then they go in, some of them not knowingly, and they say the same shit that other people say. How does that make you feel? You know, what do we look like? They say all the same stuff. And I'm like, you're kind of now just bucketed as the same thing. Do you follow? So simple things is you always have to think for everyone here is like, how do I become different? Like if I'm you, do the homeowners come to you? Do you go outbound them? Do you run ads to go get them? Like how do you?
Yeah, the company runs ads. I'll get inbound appointments set on my calendar. I'll get like a leads list that the corporate appointment setting team wasn't able to convert, or they walk in the door.
Cool. So you got to think about how you change the rhythm and all of it. And that's kind of the last thing I'll share here quickly is if I'm calling a lead, and I'm like, you know, I'm talking to the homeowner or whoever, however they responded, obviously you have more contacts. So like, hey, what's up? Oh, Bob. I'm like, hey, listen, I know you get a ton of calls. All the people always trying to, you know, push homes and things like that. All of that. I just want to be upfront. My only job is to serve you and really just see where you guys are at, what's going on in your world, understand a bit about your situation, you know, your next home, you know, next to your marriage and your babies. That's probably one of the most important decisions you guys get to make in your life because it's something you're going to spend years and years in. So I want to make sure that what you do is something that you feel proud of and gives you 100% certainty or calm as you go through the process. So I'd love to learn a little bit about you guys, show you, you know, figure out between what we have and the properties we have, just to make sure it's a perfect fit for you. I know it's tough to search and look around and find some alignment. So either ways, that one thing I can guarantee you, as we have our conversation here, brief conversation, you either have a lot more clarity about what you want, or you have a lot more assurance about you may have already found the right thing right here. So I don't know how it's going to go, but I'd love to hear what's going on with you to tell me a little bit about, you know, what's kind of prompting you guys to go look at finding new homes or properties within your area. Woo! Sorry. I just had to move my body because I thought I was about to throw up.
Colby.
Colby, did you get that? Was that helpful?
That's so good, dude. It's so good.
Okay. They call me. It's not even a self-proclaimed thing. World's #1 sales and high performance coach. It's the only silly braggadocious thing you hear me say. But that's kind of my thing to you, right? And all that messaging I said in there aligns with me of service because really I'm not there to push a home onto them. Okay. I'm there to be of service to them. Okay. So welcome to the maybe show some objection handling or something. So we'll see how we go. Okay. I'm gonna jump in. Colton, you sell marketing serve. Okay. I'm actually gonna say one very important thing for everyone here before I share this. Okay. This is probably one of the most important topics after 15 plus years of sales that one of the things, okay, that helps you get really good at sales is learning it in different contexts outside of your own. So you guys heard, Colby said a very great example. He heard me coaching someone through a roofing example. He's not a roofer, but he did oh shit, like he had the click and the connection. That's what starts to open up your mind. A lot of times if you just get coached specifically on your offer, on your thing and only your thing and only your thing, right? It's hard to pick up all the things because you're very laser focused, right? And what you're missing is sales is sales, psychology is psychology, humans are humans. So that if you hear something from another offer, another niche, another industry, the only important question you have to ask yourself is, how can I apply this for me? How does this apply for me? Right? How do I apply this for me? So if I go and I talk about Colton, he sells something that's not yours, the same principles and fundamentals will apply to you. You just have to tweak it. You just have to do something a little bit different with it. Y'all tracking? Okay. If I can go show you some of my calls and you see me 3 loops into handling fear objections. Okay. You don't go, well, Anas, I don't sell that industry. I'm like, it's the same concept for most of the part. Okay. So I'm going to jump in. So I want you to go in with an open mind, ignoring what he sells. I'm just giving you the context of it, but be prepped and engaged. And while we do it, you know what you all should do if you want to show some love? Take a photo and share it on your IG, tag Anas_NBC sales. Give a shout out if you want to get some fire. Colton, what part am I going at?
So this call, I ended up securing a deposit, but the thing was I had to go into this call really kind of being creative because he was on the initial call was like, you guys all sound the same. Like, how much does it cost? So I just want to get feedback on the call. And if you think I could have closed him on spot, he's a sales guy for a current pool company and he's breaching off and doing his own thing.
I mean, if he does what you sell, of course you could have closed him on the spot. So that's a redundant question.
Yeah. Well,
well, he sold you on why he can't close today, right? But he spent 60 minutes with you.
Yeah, I got the deposit. So
the logic of sell or be sold. So I'm just trying to, were you the one selling him or is he selling you? Because I'm a little bit confused here, Colton.
A little bit of both.
Okay. I'm teasing you. Okay. Okay. So the beginning.
Yeah. Whichever.
Okay. Colton sells marketing services to pool builders. So they're people that build pools or refix or remodel pools, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did? What did you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, I told you I talked to another company who, it's like obviously once you click on one thing you like in life, all the ads go there. So, I see tons of them on Instagram and whatnot. But the other guy, the way he came across, the way he communicated, I didn't like him. And yeah, I think you're speaking to you yesterday, watching your video, you just seem more personable and more, wanting to build relationships with companies that want to succeed and not just sell.
Yeah. It's the internet, man. There's new businesses popping up all the time. They work with kind of everyone, cast a wide net. For us, we're really strategic and trying to partner with people for the long run, right? And so it's not about taking on. I mean, you're obviously have a kind of similar setup with going after the higher ticket stuff versus just trying to sell the cheapest possible pool. Because what it turns out is whenever you sell the cheapest pool, you tend to have the most headaches. The people that pay the least complain the most. And it's the same thing. So we definitely adopted like a similar approach. Real quick, I wanted to show you this. This was actually one of our clients in, I think it's Charlotte. He had worked with like a couple different other agencies. He texted me. He closed on $126,000.
Okay, so
it's not about taking on. I mean, you're obviously have a kind of similar setup.
So first off, guys, if someone comes in and they're like, I met with a bunch of these companies or see all of it, he gives you a compliment, which is good, cool, like really good. So you say appreciate that. I would start to handle it here, or it's going to turn into an objection. So this is the mastery of pre-handling objections, because this is sounds like a tier 2 prospect. If you guys watch my video on YouTube, he's the shopper. He's in shopper land. So he's like, I'm aware I have a problem. I'm aware I need something, but I'm I'm in shopping mode. So when you're a shopper, what do? You're like, I'm going to see which store has the best price. Okay. Which thing has the best thing, right? So they commoditize you. They all think you're the same and they're just shopping, and they don't per se intent to be open or to do that. And a lot of times they don't know what they're looking for. So you have to pre-handle the objection here, or you're just going to get it later, or they're just going to stall. So if you don't handle it here, you'll probably I need to think about it. This sounds really good. Let me get back to you, because they stayed in window shopping mode. Okay. So something like this, I would just be like, yeah. So yeah, Colton, thank you. I appreciate you looking at that. I appreciate the compliment. Yes, you're right. We definitely do care about the partners. I'm kind of curious, like between you jumping, I'm sure you've seen so much of that stuff. So as you kind of go through all of it, how are you going to make sense of who to go with? And the problem is most people have never thought about how they're going to make a decision. And you don't want to leave it up to chance. So, and most people won't know what the actual criteria of what they're looking for is. So it's kind of it's a trick question that I'm asking. Because if I go, yeah, so Colton, so yeah, you already met with another company. It's unfortunate that, you didn't have a pleasant experience. I can't speak on the others. I do know, just like in anything, there's some good bad apples that kind of ruin it for everyone. I'm assuming it sounds like this is call number 2. Okay, cool. Do you have other ones booked out? So first thing I need to find out, are there other ones that you're meeting with? Are you cheating on me? Because if he has other ones that he's meeting with, is he going to make a decision on the call? You guys someone can answer. He's not going to make a decision if he has other people, because what he's going to do, they already deferred the decision before they ever continue the call. James?
So if he did say that he was meeting with people after, then where would you take the call from there?
I would say, okay, man, cool. So James, let's say we spent an hour together, okay? And then you have what, 3 more calls? So you go 5 more days. That's another 3 calls. That's more information. That's more of that. And let's say you go through all of that and you spend another 4 or 5 hours. How, after you go see everything, are you even going to make sense of assuming it's the right fit, you know, for you and them? How are you going to go make sense on who to partner up with?
Oh, well, I guess whoever could get me the best ROI, pricing is obviously important.
Okay. Well, this is where it starts to matter, because now you can pre-handle a lot of their beliefs, because they're going to go, well, whichever one's the cheaper. I'm like, ooh, okay. Well, I'm like, listen, if you're looking for cheap, I could save you a ton of time. We can kind of stop the call here. I promise you, we're not the cheapest in the market. We get results. We guarantee it. It's a premium service, and the price reflects that. So if you're looking for the cheapest thing, 100% that is not us, and I can happily refer you to other people. So I just want to make sure that we're kind of on the same page. This is not meant to be the cheap service. We're the guys that deliver the results. So in this case, if you're pools, so if you're actually looking to get jobs and pools and reconstructions with the guarantee, that's 100% us, assuming things are aligned. Okay. So now if I'm only looking for cheap, I have to pre-handle the objection here, or the sale is dead. For some of my newer members, the reason why I don't obsess about objection handling, and like, you know, people promote online objection handling a lot because it's cool and it's viral. It's kind of the worst thing to try to handle objection. Handling objection, you're actually trying to do it all throughout the sale. So here's a very easy thing. If someone is in shopper mode, that you have to think about, you have to help them think about what's important. Okay. So upfront, they might say, well, whichever one's the cheaper, then I have to attack the cheap thing. They're like, well, you know what? I guess I'll kind of just know. And I'm like, okay, I mean, you're a smart guy, but how would you know? Can't just be an intuition, right? They're like, well, you know what? If they seem legit, some of the guys have fake testimonials and this and that. Okay, that's totally fair. I get that. What else? That's literally, guys, what I do. It's what I've done on calls over and over, because you have to let them flush it out, because upfront, they will then have the clarity of what actually makes sense for them. So you have to flush stuff as it comes out, and I wouldn't continue with the sale.
Up with going after the higher ticket stuff versus, you know, just trying to sell the cheapest possible pool. Because, you know, what it turns out is whenever you sell the cheapest pool, you tend to have the most headaches. The people that pay the least complain the most. And, you know, it's the same thing. So we you know, definitely adopted like a similar approach. Real quick, I wanted to show you this. This was actually one of our clients in, I think it's Charlotte. He had worked with like a couple different other agencies. He texted me, he closed on a $126,000 project. Can you see that there?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, I know that obviously your goal is to target the high end stuff. A lot of people try to get you to sell the lower. But that's kind of what we built out with him. Really, whenever we have this call, it's, you know, even though the system works, it's about trying to see how we can make it work for you, because even though it works, every business is at kind of different stage. So I'll kind of walk you through if it makes sense. We can get.
So your kind of thing, Colton, it's still a little bit weird. If I was coaching you, I would tell you, I would only show those screenshots if you can bridge some relevance to that person. If you put a pre-made thing, it feels gimmicky. So let's say this guy's in Osmer, Utah, or whatever, somewhere in Utah. Okay. If you don't have a client in Utah, you better have someone nearby and be like, yeah, man, I was looking up, you know, I think you're in Utah. We just had one of our clients in XYZ. You know, as we were looking through it, I would be looking at it casually, and I would open up your tool rather than just having this perfectly pre-made screenshot. It feels too staged, so it could trigger a lot of skepticism with people. So if you did that with me, I'm a sophisticated buyer, I would think it's a gimmick right off the bat. Because the first thing I look at when you share it is I see it's saved in a folder as a screenshot, and you kind of block out the name, so it doesn't seem real to me. So you can create distrust in this exact moment. But if you casually opened up your GHL or whatever and be like, yeah, man, I was actually looking at, you know, this person, blah, 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 and I kind of saw it, and you're showing them, they'll become way more believable.
Get into the numbers. If not, you know, hard feelings. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I guess real quick, but before we get into it, I know I had it pulled up from yesterday. Like, you're at the current company, you know, you're wanting to leave possibly like August, October, and the goal is obviously to do the 200 to 500 pulls a year, but, you know, kind of ramping that up over the course of time, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess out of curiosity, I mean, obviously I know you're super successful with the year, but, you know, kind of ramping that up over the course of time, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess out of curiosity, I mean, obviously I do the 200 to 500.
Okay. So again, I always tell you guys, I don't like recaps unless you were the one that set them same morning or something. Because what you guys will see is whenever someone gives you a goal and you try to recap it for them, that goal initially was never real. So then you kind of bait them in this weird corner, and you'll kind of see him
500
watch
pulls a
him.
year, but kind of ramping that up over the course of time. Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Why would someone flinch like that as they recap the goal?
In their mind, they're like, "Oh,
yeah. They're not giving you a truthful yes.
counterfeit." Yes.
It's that's a fake yes. Just so we're on the same page. Do you catch that, Colton? Okay. Because you're now boxing him into a goal that's not rule. I hate recaps. Yeah, I'm not big on recaps. You have to bridge it a little bit different, unless you just like set him this morning and then you're talking to them. Sure. But yeah, so he's forced to lie. Enoch said it perfectly right. That's why you see him twitch. So now I'm like getting someone a little bit in an uncomfortable state where they're not being honest and truthful because I'm baiting them.
I guess out of curiosity, I mean, obviously, I know you're super successful with the existing company. What has you kind of wanting to leave and do your own thing?
Well, that's the last phrase you just said, own thing. I mean, I'm working for somebody else. I'm building their business. It's a business within a business. I mean,
yeah,
I basically come and go as I want. They're just feeding me leads at the end of the day, and I'm making less money. They don't have as much control over what I'm doing. So, when I meet a customer and they, trust me and like me, and they're buying from me and they're spending, $100,000 to $1 million on a project, then I hand it off to the rest of our team that I don't have control over. Oftentimes, if they fumble the play, there's issues. And bottom line is, I just want to build something for myself. I want to serve people better. The end goal is to do a great job and build something for the long haul that people, tell their friends, family, and neighbors, hey, you got to call Mission Pools, you got to call Trevor, you got to call CJ, you got to call Ryan, whoever, all the guys that are going to work for me, and just build a brand that's better than what is now. Presidential cow pools, dolphin pools, Caribbean pools, all those guys have been around for, 20 to 30 plus years, and that's great. But, the ownership's changing guard. Bigger companies are buying them out. They're just trying to pump, it's a machine, dude, at the end of the day. And I want to build something that, is more personable with customers. And that's just bottom line is I'd rather sell, 50 to 100 pools on my own and make 3-4 times what I make now, even though where I'm at right now is very good. It's just time, dude. I'm 40 years old. I just turned 40. I don't want to sit around and work for somebody else for another 10, 15 years when I can build my own business for the next 5 and then hire the right people and then do other things in life.
No, yeah, 100%. We had a call with, you probably know him, Anthony Silva's huge company. I mean, those companies internally, it's a nightmare. So I'm with you. We got clients that do the whole merge situation, buy out a company, and it's, it's a mess for the homeowners. And you can see that with the, when you talk to them and the reviews. And I know that you mentioned a couple other people, at least with this, going into the fall, the end of the summer. Is it just you solo? Or are you going to have other guys selling? What's the kind of situation like on that end?
I could initially.
I'm just going to stop it there. So again, Colton, really you're too into the script. So what did he share into that? What did you guys hear?
He was sharing sort of his longer term goals and like why he wanted to run his own company, that sort of thing. And it kind of went right back to, okay, but like technical in your company, what does the structure look like? As opposed to kind of following the path of what he was talking about.
Yeah. And you also missed exploring the pain. And what I mean by the pain is, if someone just turned 40, like this gentleman seems like a great guy. He's like, I'm 40, I'm working for the man. When I can make my, like, you understand, guys, if you've worked for someone and you're like, I'm working my ass off and now I build relationship. Like, I loved everything the prospect said. He's like, I build these great relationships. I love them. They care me. We build this rapport. And I feel like I'm bait and switching them. That's what I heard him say. He's like, I'm conning them because now I give them to the company and the company doesn't treat them as good as me. And like, I have my reputation involved and now I hand it off and it's a bad interaction. And I feel bad because I'm proud of my work. And I make less money. And now I'm going to be stuck working for everyone else for the rest of my time when I could have my own thing. So what I heard is he cares about his freedom. He takes pride in the work that he does. He definitely wants to make more money. And he doesn't like the constriction of having to report someone. I heard 4 things. And you didn't expand on a single one. And that's the trap, folks, of just being so caught in the script that you're just like, next question. Where here, I would be like, yeah, man, I appreciate that. It sounds like you take great pride in your work. And I can hear that. The fact that you actually care about the transition and the pass-off point and how it huge. And you'd be surprised how uncommon of a thing that is. Isn't that true? Y'all follow? So I'm just like, I'm here with you, brother. Like, I'm here. I hear you. I understand you. And my next question would be, and I'm curious, like, even just you turning 40, like, did you recently then just realize not 40 part of like a birthday reflection that you want to be your own thing? Or has this kind of been a lingering thought for the past few years? Time quantifies the problem. So if he tells me, no, I've been wanting this for the last 5 years, I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's a different problem than I just thought about this 2 weeks ago. Y'all follow? So I'm like, I might not even have a high ticket problem here. The frame of time really matters in a sales conversation. Are y'all tracking or am I losing you? I'm getting the blank stare. So I'm like, is this too much for Friday? I could pass
Oh,
out here.
let's
Okay.
go. Let's go. You
So
could.
back to you, Colton, and back to everyone here is the mastery is you have to learn to listen to someone. And Tony gets it. Tony gets it. Tony's okay. You have to really listen to people. And a lot of times they tell you their concerns, their objections, their beliefs, their fears, everything. If you actually just listen. Do you all understand? Like, think about it. Okay, watch. If I'm trying to sell Colby, okay, let's say my coaching, I'm like, well, he said in his mind, he has a belief that there's long sales cycles. And I'm like, well, is it actually true that it takes months for deals to close? I'm like, well, I know it's not true. I just know based on the current situation that that's his reality. So it's true to him, but that isn't the true reality. I'm like, people transact and buy homes all the time. So I'm like, okay, so there's a possible marketing and a sales problem. But then he also mentioned that there's like a mindset that comes with it. Because who here has been on a lull on sales and you're like, I took 7 sales calls and nothing happened. That should be everyone here, right? And you all know what that does to you psychologically. So we call it calls. He calls it just time. He's like, it took me weeks or a month before a deal and I'm waiting for the momentum. It's a big payoff, right? So I'm like, okay, now if I just listen and I'm trying to actually sell him and be of service to him, I can also expand like, man, that's really tough. So is that like, one month of the year that you're kind of, things are going a little bit downwards and you kind of have to go through that mental warfare? Or is it more of a roller coaster, like 1 month, you're gravy and then it's another month and then you're kind of going through and you're like, holy shit, how do I, this? Like, how does that kind of show up for you? And I could go deeper because I'm actually listening and I'm trying to understand. But you really, really, really have to, again, the same theme that we talked about, and it sounds so simplistic, but I'm just like, if you're just 7% more present with people and just listen to what they say. And the purpose of the script always is that you could forget the script. Like Colton, especially, like you have a ton, you've done like, I don't know, probably like 500 of these calls by now. Okay. Right? Like, you should already know everything, that you don't need to think about what you could say. You should spend all your energy just being present with the person. You with me, Colton?
Yeah.
Ask him more about the dream or ask him more about the struggle. Y'all follow? Okay, because everyone here needs to understand, no one opts into a form or submits a thing if they don't have a greater aspiration or a struggle they're trying to overcome. Just a lot of times they don't call it a struggle, and a lot of times they don't call it aspiration. They call it more, less, faster, better, smarter, cheaper. I want better. I want more deals. I want more jobs. I want perfect. I want smoother. I want less.
So my question, I was talking about it with Elias. So when the prospect, the shopper, kind of trying to get the lead of the call, how do you kind of let's say, get to the point? How do you kind of get back in control?
When the prospect is like, can you just get to the point?
Exactly.
The most important thing is to understand what you said or how you said something to trigger them in that way.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever, guys, something breaks in the sales process, like let's say you're at the presentation and something triggered, I'm like, don't ever try to handle the thing. Just be like 2-3 steps behind. I just did something or didn't do something. So that prospect is trying to overpower you. And that can you just get to the point? They're not like that. That person does not come on being like, I hate all people. And if this person speaks to me for more than a minute, I'm going to lose my shit on them. There's like 1 for every billion like that. Okay. It's something in the interaction. Okay. So Jaden, it's less about trying to handle that and just trying to understand what you said, because you'll keep repeating that if you don't catch it, that you triggered them. So that's a triggered response. So the objection handle doesn't matter. Okay. It's how do you prevent that from happening?
Gotcha.
Okay. If you had that call and we looked at it, I could literally in 2 seconds find it. Okay. James, let me answer the split pay. Good. Let me go rapid fire. James, split pay. Recap the question.
Yeah. So if they ask, what do you do if they ask for a split pay? If they're like, hey, can we split this up into one payment of this now and then the other in 30
Simplest
days?
Response without getting fancy is just say, most of clients pay in full. So most of clients are paying full. Would you want to put that on a card or just stay in it? Okay. And then generally what will happen is, listen, James, you sell realtors. They are adults. Yeah. They are professionals. Okay. When someone asks you for a split pay, it is not because they're going to go on food stamps. It is out of a comfort level. Yeah. Okay. The problem is split pay is going to be your worst client because they're going to lack commitment in most cases. And they're going to be coming in half bought in, half not. So they're not going to work your leads. They're not going to show up. So the reason I care to push for a PIF, a paid in full, is not because of the business, like sure, it's good, is because it's kind of proportional to the level of commitment. So if someone's like, split this and that, I'm like, yeah, most of the clients pay in full. So is it better for you to put on card, or did you want to look at funding options? You can even almost try to like insult someone in that case, or did you want to look at funding options? Okay. And they're like, no, I mean, I could pay it on card, but this and that. Cool. Totally get it, appreciate it. And you actually just have to coach someone through. I'm like, listen, I get it, right? You're like, hey, this is something new. I'm going to invest money. Do I know it works? What if it doesn't? I'm like, these are all natural parts of the process. You are meant to feel some nerve, because do you know what we're doing? We're doing something new here. And when has anything in life that has been new and involved the change, when has it been comfortable? I'm like, people can't even change a meal plan. They can't change a gym. They can't even pick a movie on Netflix. Like anything that requires any resistance always feels weird and uncertain, right? The first time you have to go sell a property, the first time you have to talk to a homeowner, everything that has a change always feels uneasy until you go through it. So usually with this, right, splitting down the payment or any of that, other than it feeling more comfortable, doesn't do anything to help your situation. And I don't believe it's in your best interest. Because I would much rather see you, this is the most important part, is I would much rather see you go through a little bit of discomfort now, making the payment in full. Okay. I would much rather see you go through a little bit of discomfort now, doing the payment in full, because I know when you come in, you're going to be fully committed, because you're going to feel that discomfort and you're going to work twice as hard as our agents. And that's how you get incredible results. But if you come in and it's comfortable and it's easy and it just feels good and small, like you're not really going to work hard for it, because you're going to be half in, half out. So the only question that really matters here is, how real and serious is this as a commitment for you to actually grow and scale the business? And would you like our help through the process?
Wow.
For almost everyone here, for actually literally for everyone here who you're selling, it's always out of a comfort. Do you follow? So I would much rather empower the prospect to push through the discomfort, because they're going to be a way better client. Do you understand? So the answer of split pay, simply, and this is assuming it is actually just a money objection, most of the clients, almost all our clients pay in full. Most of our clients pay in full. So what's better for you? And I'd just be like, I'm okay, listen, I know it's a little bit uncomfortable. It's probably a little bit more money you invested before, and that's totally fine. Every single person who's had success, who's won with us, who's gone through the program, had to go through the same thing. Very rare do we get someone that's like, yeah, I'm ready. Everything is amazing. I have no nerve towards this. Okay. And here's the keys. There's always a little bit of nerve, but there's always excitement with it. And it's kind of the mix of both. And you can't have this without that. So you got to go through. It's funny. There's a reel literally coming up of me doing this as a live objection handle of this versus that. And like, it is it. Like, you get to have excitement, you have to have the nerve. Y'all tracking? So I'm boiling it down simply. I'm like, hey, totally fine. Listen, you're meant to have a little bit of nerve on this. That's normal. That little gut feeling, a little bit of uncertainty, it's a normal part of the process. But you're supposed to have some nerve, because that means you can also have some of the excitement. You can't have one without the other, and that's just natural. And once you go in and you start seeing the results and you start, getting X, Y, Z, you'll have that resolve, and you'll be grateful you made the decision. So part of the process is just going through this initial bit of discomfort, so you can kind of experience the results on the other end. So is this easier to put it on a card? Do you want to put it through a bank, ACH? What works best for you? I can come back to the close 100 times over. Okay, let's give it up, James. Is that good?
Give it up for James.
Anthony, back to you.
I like what you said about that, because I've been focusing on leaning more into like the challenger frame on calls rather than, I think that's super helpful. But my question was, I don't really get this too much, but this deal had the potential to be a bigger size, but she was just unwilling to like move. So she was late to the call. She doesn't want to turn her camera on. And then I was like, we could just reschedule in that case. She's like, well, if you want to reschedule, it's going to take weeks because I'm super busy. So it's like now or never. So
she came on late, and then you tried to reschedule at the start?
Yeah. So because she didn't want to turn her camera on. She's like, I'm in a garage, so there's not much light. And I was like, okay, yeah, perfect. We could just reschedule for a better time. She's like, well, if you want to do that, then, we're going to have to do like.
You're going to burn the deal. You're going to burn the deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So something like that, just for context, because I know what Anthony sells, you sell communication, and some of your clientele are awkward people. That is literally the portfolio of an ideal character. One of your ideal clients is awkward. Okay. So a little bit of grace for someone who struggles with awkwardness and people to have some resistance about going on camera. So this is part of knowing your prospect. Okay. The no camera things, like part of it is when stuff is tense, you have to bring in some humor. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm talking to a lady and it's Barbara, and I'm like, hey, Barbara, is this more like, I didn't do my hair, I don't have my makeup, only, I'm feeling a little bit of camera shy, or is this like I'm running around, the kids, like, do you need a few minutes to get situated? Okay.
Yeah.
If it's a guy, I can kind of do the same thing.
For context on us, she was in sales and she works for this company called Oracle, which I'm familiar with that company. So yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it was necessarily that.
So if it's not that, so you have to come back to another piece. If someone not coming onto camera, be like, yeah, hey, all good. I can give you a few minutes just to get the camera going. And then they're like, well, no, I just want to, keep it off. I'm like, hey, totally get it. I know sometimes people are trying to get ready, that kind of thing. Just with what we do with our program, like understand, end of the day, our job is to help you with your communication, right? They're like, I'm assuming that's why you're here. They're like, yeah. I'm like, so for that, like there is a coaching element of it, which means we actually have to figure out, is this the right client? Can we actually coach them? Can we get them the results? Because if we can't get you the results, there's no point in bringing you on as a client, because we'll end up refunding you or just not, it not working out. So part of it is, and when you talk about communication, it's about having a connection. Like it'd be pretty impossible to help someone and have a meaningful conversation if we can't even see the other person on the other line. We're not some telemarketing company calling you from abroad, so we like to put a name to a face before we have a conversation with someone. So I just love the opportunity to get to have a meaningful conversation with you, just to see how we can best serve you. So is this more of a tech issue of like not knowing how to work the thing on mobile, or do you just need a few minutes just to get situated, and then we can kind of jump in?
Yeah.
All right. Did that answer your question?
It did, because like,
why are you not resolved?
Me? Oh, because so I asked to reschedule, and she's like, no, we got to do it right now.
I would never ask to reschedule. Guys, please, if the prospect showed up, sir, they're already there. Why would you reschedule?
One more thing. She had a hard stop at 11, and we were already late. So I'm already in my head, I'm like, there's no way we're going to go.
Did you have more than 20 minutes?
Yeah, it was like 25. It was like 20.
Run
23.
with the call.
Run with it, Anthony.
Learn how to pace up.
I did run with it.
Okay.
For sure.
And if you start rocky, then they don't buy into you throughout. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So my answer to you guys, if a prospect shows up, unless you have like 7 minutes, then just run through the call. Okay. If it's a first call, you can also treat it like a set. Share a little bit, gather a bit of information, then schedule a presentation. So you just split your sales call.
What if they're on the move?
What does that mean?
So like they're driving, they're walking, and they're just gonna keep walking the whole way.
I would fix that in the pre-call process. So you should be calling your leads up front and just be like, hey, it's on Zoom, it's on computer. Do you know how to use it? Did you get the link? Here's the reason why it's important. Like get them sold on why they need to be in person. And just let them know we do not take calls on the car. We do not take it on the road. We do not do a walk and talk. So don't react to a problem that you can proactively fix. So when people are like, oh, Nas, I get all these calls. I'm like, cool. What do you guys do up front to let them know that they need to be on Zoom and in person? Do you follow?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's give it up. That was great.
Appreciate that.
Ask it. We got it. What part of the call?
Yeah. So to be honest, I don't even know, because this guy, I think at the end, he was like, yeah, I just literally do not believe in Facebook ads anymore. I don't even want to spend a single dime on it. And I could have probably, if I knew, I should have probably like pre-handled that, where it's like educate him more on why Facebook ads works. It's just that the driver, like the person who was doing his ads, just wasn't good enough. And he also said,
who are you servicing again?
Remodeling companies, contractors.
Oh, you're also in remodeling. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No,
yeah, but it's like
okay,
more kitchen, bathrooms.
Kitchen, bathroom.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, house. And then this guy, so he was basically saying how he's seen this like pitch structure, the system.
All good, Kaiser. So you have no idea where the call went south. This call went south. Is that all we have?
Well, he just doesn't believe in Facebook ads because of previous, he got burned in the past. So I kind of just told him, hey, you know what? I'll just give you a 14-day free trial. Because he wants it. He said he wants it, but I'm like, he just doesn't believe in it. So I was like, he believes in the system, but he doesn't want to spend money on Facebook ads. So it's kind of, I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Yeah, I feel like what we had will help you. Maybe the system works. Well, these calls are kind of just really short and sweet. Kind of want to go over some. There you go.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good. Doing good. How about yourself?
Hanging in there, bro. Hanging in there.
I feel yeah. Well, welcome to the call. Do you mind if you just dive straight in, Sonny?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, all right. Well, these calls are kind of just really short and sweet. Kind of want to go over some details, kind of figure out how our system's gonna work for your business.
Are you nervous? Are you nervous, Kaiser?
I don't know, bro. Maybe.
Okay, I'm only asking because I was worried if you had a twitch. So I didn't want to make you feel bad if you had.
I don't know.
You don't have a nerve.
I might be. I know. Okay. I might be nervous.
Okay, you look a little nervous.
Maybe I was. Maybe I was.
Really just at a different point in their life cycle, right? So yeah, I feel like what we had will help you. Maybe just kind of talk about next step.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Sonny, you saw an ad, fit it out. I guess is there a reason for you doing that? I guess what seems to be like a problem, like what's your goal, what you're trying to accomplish, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of brief over what we talked about the other day. It's just keep it consistent. Like I say, I'm busy right now. I'm swamped with work, but I don't want the cycle to dive too much. Everybody has highs and lows, but I definitely don't want to go to a whole dead cycle. So I want to keep consistent and always have something in my books.
Okay. Has that ever happened in the past where it was like inconsistent?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, all the time. So.
Did you do anything differently, like when?
There's so many things. That's why I'm like, if you guys don't know, we could go 2 hours on 2 minutes. Okay. So I'll just do this because it'll serve everyone. Okay. I just want everyone to really pay attention to what the prospect is saying. Okay.
Figure out how our system's gonna work for you, help you. Just kind of what seems to be like a problem, like what's your goal, what you're trying to accomplish, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of brief over what we talked about the other day. It's just keep it consistent. Like I say, I'm busy right now. I'm swamped with work, but I don't want the cycle to dive too much. Everybody has highs and lows, but
okay. Pause. First belief that I caught. Okay. Does every business have highs and lows, guys? Drop a 1 if every business has highs and lows. So here's the reality. Let me ask a better question. Is every optimized business have highs and lows? Okay. The answer is no. So he's at effect of what sounds like a marketing problem. So first off, I'm like, okay, first belief, because I'm going to interject pretty quickly here if I was on the call.
I definitely don't want to, like I say, I'm busy right now. I'm swamped with work, but I don't want the cycle to dive too much. Everybody has highs and lows, but I definitely don't want to go to a whole dead cycle. So I want to keep consistent and always have something in my books.
Wow.
Okay. So I don't want to go through a dead cycle. Everyone has highs and lows. And he's like even showing you the visual. Like that thing dropped. Okay. We all saw the hand, like it dropped. Okay. So the things you got to ask here is I'm like, I can appreciate where you might think, some of the business have highs and lows. I guess like you talk about consistency and a dead cycle. Like what does that actually mean? And I need him to expand here further on this because guys, what is a dead cycle? Who here knows what a dead cycle is?
No idea.
How long is a dead cycle? How much money do you lose on a dead cycle? Do you have to lay off your employees at a dead cycle? Do you get laid off? Like what happens? What's a dead cycle? What is inconsistent? How long does that last? There's so many things that are unanswered here. And I already hear some beliefs. So I'm just like, I like to ride as things come up. So it's not weird. So I'm like, okay, cool. So like when you talk about consistency means different things for different people. So like in your own words or mine, like I guess for you, like what does that actually mean? Because guys, I always say this, I'm so dumb and I'm okay to accept that. Like I just don't know shit. So like I'm talking to someone, I'm just like, dude, highs and lows. What does that actually mean? I just don't know. So I just have to stay curious and open. And that's kind of what helps you serve more. Y'all tracking? So here, I would start guiding the thing of trying to understand.
Stay ahead of the curve this time around, so that when August comes around or late July, people are on vacation. I still got those people that still want stuff done.
Okay.
Okay. Stay ahead of the curve because when July and vacation come, whatever the vacations come, so I still have ahead of the curve, so I could still have some things come. What is the presupposition here? What is assumed here for that to be true? Is that in the past, he didn't have jobs lined up, and in Q3, Q4, he had no business. That's what I interpreted. Did you all catch that? I'm just gonna run it back to you for a second.
When August comes around or late July, people are on vacation. I still got those people that still want stuff done.
Okay.
Or the transition from decking to interior remodeling or siding or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I actually took a look at your Google and everything. So you guys have 169 reviews. That's really good. Now I see why.
Okay. So do you guys see what could have changed here? So we're now talking about the reviews, Kaiser, when right now I need to be like, okay, so it sounds like there's some concern about the end of summer and jobs. Are we all tracking? So I'm like, okay, cool. So like last year, it seems like you've been in business for a long time. I was looking at your Google reviews. I saw 168. Amazing. I see like you've been in business for like what, 10, 12 years? Great. So in the past years, it sounds like something happens after August. Like, do you normally stop the jobs, or like what happens to you in Q4 towards the winter months? Oh, well, you know what? Things slow down. People don't want the remodeling. They want this thing, that thing. Okay. And then is that a huge difference or dip in the revenues that you get? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. How does that compare to what it is in the summer? Cool. It's this thing. Gotcha. And it's that thing. Okay. And has that been a pretty consistent theme that shows up month over month or year over year? And I'm trying to just understand what's happening, what's showing up. You can go so much deeper if you just pay attention and get curious about trying to explore the different things that are coming up. Am I losing you guys? Or am I freaking you out? Elias told me go more advanced today and asked like don't sugarcoat. And I was like, all right, man. Okay. What I'm really trying to get everyone here to understand. Remember I said earlier, it's not about, okay, well, I don't sell what this gentleman is selling here. It's everyone has this version of them. Like as I share this, who here can understand, you could think about your previous sales interaction, in person, online, any of that. And they've shared some stuff. And the thing that we can all get caught in is just to gloss over and continue. But if you learn to pay attention, there's so many entry points and so many ways to expand someone's situation, to understand, because the harsh reality for everyone here to understand, especially if you sell something high ticket, an unagitated, undisturbed, unaware, self-owning prospect will never buy. Because most prospects are not problem aware, they're problem accustomed. What it means is if this gentleman's been in business for 10 years and he has these ups and downs, who here believes that he's probably pretty used to the ups and downs? Yes? So the ups and downs sounds normal to him. Like, oh, that's just how it is. Because I even heard him say it. He says, oh, you know, every business has ups and downs. So he's saying, oh, this is super normal. Just as there's sun, there's night. Yeah, it's normal. There's always going to be nighttime, right? So in his mind, this is normal. So what he's actually saying is it's not a problem because that's just how it always is. If I explain to you guys why I'm hammering here, why going deeper, is they're saying, well, it's always like this. It's not a problem. It's just, it would be nice if we got more volume or more jobs. So if I go and expand and that person goes, well, yeah, it's been like that. I'm like, well, how much money are you losing on that? Well, I'm losing that much. It dips like that. I'm like, well, what happens to the business then? Are you laying off employees? Then do you rehire them in the summer? What is happening now? The problem is expanding. And your job is not to be evil, but it's just like most people, like all of us in our own thing, we don't actually realize how real our problem is until we talk about it. Y'all tracking? So part of your space is for you to understand, but also for the prospect to understand their actual situation. Because how are they supposed to go make sense of a $10,000 package, a $5,000 package, a $15,000 package, hell, a $3,000 package, if they don't even think their situation is a problem? Because my brain goes, if a business owner's been in it for that long, it's very unfair. Isn't it unfair that someone would be in a business for 10 years and they still have ups and downs? Imagine if you guys were in your business for 10 years and you still have ups and downs. That's unfair. Right? Just like James asleep. Like I would be pissed. So I'm like, when I hear that, I'm like, that's just not okay. So I have to, part of me serving someone, I have to help them have that reality check for them to comprehend like, hey, this is not okay. Like this should not be normal. Okay. I'm just going to play one last piece of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Drop a 1 if y'all tracking getting your own clicks, just so I have a gauge of where we're at. Okay, we're getting the ones. Okay, cool. Okay, guys, you're all so tiny, so it's so hard. So I'm just
like, and then I went on your Facebook. I love the post, but I think the last one was last year or so.
I don't have time to post, and the guy that was doing it, had a young kid that was doing it, and I just, he just fell off the wayside, and I just don't have time to post.
Yeah, I got you. Well, there's no worries, but you do have a great following, 600 followers, so you do have there. Definitely want to keep building that brand for your business. So you mentioned even before, it was kind of up and down. Is it always like that, or is it just like last year or so, just recently?
No, it's always like that. I mean, just a typical scenario, of a contractor like me, one man show, you get super busy, you don't think of 3 months down the road, and 3 months later, you're like, hey, where's all the work? You dried up. Then the money you saved up, you're spending, and then you're back at it again. So that's what I mean by highs and lows. And I again, really like to break that cycle because it's everlasting. If you don't break it, it's just gonna keep on going.
Yeah. Okay. And how's that? Because of that inconsistency, how does that impact the your business growth in general? Is it slowing down, or is it just kind of? I don't really. Yeah, just kind of tell me more about that. I don't know.
Again, okay, springtime. Everybody wants stuff done because where are you based on? Where are you at stake?
You okay, Kaiser? If I jump, I'm gonna go.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
In the first month, I'm already in it for almost $3,500 plus whatever, plus a $200 fee for an appointment. So no, I appreciate it. I really, I'm like.
Organic. get to like those few hundred followers or ads? Like, you're in Chicago, right? Like that's a whole. And you service the whole Chicago?
No, I have a certain service area.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's still like millions and millions of people. I'm not sure that I don't know what the population in Chicago.
Well, Chicago's got millions of people.
Yeah. So compared to like organic, which is great, but you're only reaching a certain amount where you can be reaching hundreds of millions of people, hundreds of thousands of millions.
Yeah, but organic's more stable in the long run. Ads are there, and then ads go away if you stop spending the money. If you build traction with organic, which again, that's like SEO, right? You build traction with it, it'll stay there. If you build traction with it, you don't got to spend monthly fees.
Okay.
When I say organic, I'm talking about like my Google business listing, right?
Yeah.
That's what people look at. They look at your Google business listing. They don't look at what's in the middle of page one. That's they're either buying from the ads from Google business listings or an ad that you may see pop up on Facebook. But really, that's it.
Okay. So I guess would you like to hear like a counter offer?
I don't think it's gonna work, honestly. Not because I've been down this road. I spent thousands of dollars. Again, if I did anything, it would be more of like, Sonny, I'm gonna do like you just saw there, $200 per qualified appointment, $500 setup fee, and that's all you pay until we get jobs. Or like I said, pay maybe for an appointment and then do a rev share. Maybe $100 appointment. If you get a job, we want X amount of dollars from it. So
I was actually gonna give something similar.
Okay, so
we can help you. So kind of talk to me.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing, bro. I mean, I talked to a homeowner about a kitchen, and I know that she really wants.
Okay, so first off, you have to help someone frame their beliefs about ads in this case. And for everyone here, everyone has beliefs about stuff, and all a belief is a feeling of certainty. So they're certain about something. So the prospect here is certain that, notice he said cost and fees. Very two peculiar choices of words. What he said, cost and fees. What's a cost and a fee? It's a penalty. It's a loss. It's a tax. So he's not thinking of investment ROI standpoint. He's thinking about what am I going to lose? What am I going to lose? Cost, fee, penalty. Do y'all follow? You don't go, I paid an ass a fee to coach me. It's like, well, that's not how it works. You get what I mean? Like, I invested because he's going to help me make more money. Do you understand? Like, you're in the, I do this because he helps me make more money. Okay, it's an investment. I know you all understand the investment thing, but when listening to their words, he's talking about, if I go back to what he's saying, he's like, well, yeah, I don't want to keep paying the costs and the fees because if I stop paying them, then it goes away. So this is where you have to go reframe someone's beliefs. So let's say it's ads, okay? So when someone's talking about it, they're like, I believe this thing to be true. So your job in a simplistic way is to say, hey, I completely understand why you believe that's true. Now let me show you a different way of why it's not actually this, it's this thing. That's a very simple way linearly to explain what a belief is. It's not A, it's B. Okay. So for them, you would go here. I would just be like, yeah. So Kaiser, hey, I totally get it and appreciate looking at this. And a lot of times for people before they actually started ads or anything, they just look at it as a cost. They're like, I'm losing money. They just think about all the money that's going out of their account. But if you kind of go back to it, and if you look at just Facebook alone, there's over $400 million transacted every single day on ads. That's, I don't know, the math is not that good. That's about $1 billion every 3 days. Okay. YouTube, 8 billion, like it's billions of dollars across all these platforms. People don't spend. Why do you think people spend the money? It's not because it doesn't work. That's the thing that actually works when you know how to make it work for you. So people that say, what's your marketing budget? Like one of our tells, when we hear someone say that's a marketing budget, we know instantly that they don't have a successful marketing campaign because no one actually says they have a budget. A budget is restricted. It's finite. It's limited. You only have a budget when you don't know it doesn't work. Because let me ask you this, Mr. Prospect. If I guaranteed you in paper, legally, and this, for every $5,000 you pay into this system, you got $15,000 back, let's just say. Would you make the payment? Oh, yeah, of course I'd do that. Okay, cool. So if that worked, would you then tell me you have a $5,000 budget or would you spend $10,000? Then they're like, well, I'd spend 10 grand. Okay, cool. So you'd actually spend of it if it did make a return. So it's not an issue of you having a budget. It's an issue of you not having something that works. So the conversation here isn't about how much this costs or how much money you have to put down. The conversation here is how do we actually get you a return that's positive? Because when you're making money from it, you're never going to look at it as a cost. It's only a cost if it doesn't work. The reason why we have our business, the reason why ads exist, the reason why we offer this to you at such a low rate is we spend tens of thousands of dollars. We've serviced XYZ clients. We go and beat it up at scale and test it. So you only get the winning results, right? And once we plug the system and you start working it and you see the profitability and it working at scale, the next question becomes, well, how much more can I spend? And usually the thing that stops people from growing isn't the ad spend, it's that they can't keep up with the fulfillment. Because now they're getting an extra stream of consistent jobs and it keeps them whole and busy, and they have to cap the spend because they don't have the crew or the capacity. And in your case, like you mentioned, you're a one-man show. So there is a point, because how many jobs can you actually take on within the year? Okay, cool. So do you see how once we get you to that point, you now have to go hire people, train them? It's a different conversation. So the main goal is actually to just get you profitable and in a position that you're actually making money. Because at that point, when you see the system make money, when you see the money coming back, it's never a cost conversation. And let me ask you a silly question. Yes,
sorry, go ahead.
David. Okay.
If that belief is popping up, isn't that an issue of like he's not sold on the system's ROI? So even if you handle the objection, he still doesn't think it's going to ROI, or am I off there?
He's not universally sold on Facebook in this case, or marketing. Sorry, ad spend. So if I change the belief on ad spend, I can get him bought in to ads. Do you understand? So it's kind of like, it's kind of the, I just don't believe ads work. So if I remove that and they're like, okay, I believe ads work. And that's like, okay, cool. Now do you see how our ad system will work for you? But they can't accept your ad system as working because they're not sold on the idea of ads. So you have to address the root cause, which is ads cost money. They're not an ROI. It's a loss. I'm losing money. So you have to help them see that it's not a loss.
Okay.
Do you understand? It's the same thing.
Right on.
Imagine
Right on.
it's all about frames and association. So let's say I sell fitness, okay? Because I see, so let's say, one of my clients, they sell it's almost a $7,000 fitness package, okay? So how would someone go pay online $7,000? How does that make sense to anyone? Well, fitness, everyone knows you just got to eat better, eat less calories, and work out. Why would someone go spend $7,000? Right? So like, how am I going to go help build a $7,000 case for someone? You have to go figure out the associations and what they believe and what it costs and how it looks and all that kind of stuff. And if you can help them, let's say, one of the clients we sell happens to be in sales. Well, how easy is it if someone gets healthier? Will they make more money? Yes or no? Guaranteed they'll make more money, right? But the question becomes is, okay, now imagine you sell online fitness coaching and the person thinks I need an in-person trainer or I can't work out. No matter what the offer is, that person's not going to buy until you address that root belief. Do y'all follow? The mistake is waiting till you get the objection to handle that. When in reality is you should bake it in earlier in the sales process. So just pay attention, guys, with me with the fitness example. So if I sell online fitness coaching where I'll coach you and help you get shredded and all of that, but it's an online program, but you believe I need someone in person to keep me accountable, okay? Rather than getting to the end and then doing a price drop, and then you're like, whoa, it's too much money. I got to think about it. I don't like it, because they don't believe online works. Earlier on, I have to sell them and change their belief. That's the mastery in NBC sales. I'm like, what's all going to show up? How do I handle it up front? So in the fitness example, I would be talking about, one of the crazy things that we see a lot of our clients, before they struggled getting a personal trainer and then traffic and then meeting in person. There's so many things in coordinating and schedule, and sometimes they have something come up and that person doesn't show up and it was this whole mess. So what we always look to do is we're like, hey, how do we make this usable for you at any time, anywhere? So rather than trying to coordinate with another person every single time, what we actually did is we built out the programs custom to you, and then we shot you specific videos to show you how to do the movements. Okay. So now the idea is you can work on it on your own time. And then what a lot of our clients will actually do is they'll go bring in their kid, they'll bring in their spouse, they'll bring on a friend, and then they can kind of both go through the program together. So they don't have to pay extra for another trainer. They now have this person, this da-da-da-da-da. And then the last piece that we do is, so you can get constant feedback, is we get the clients to shoot videos while they do the lifts to keep them accountable, but we also coach correct them on their form. And what makes that helpful is now they have the videos, they can watch it as many times. They see the camera angle, we coach them through it. They can go back to it so many times so they understand, okay, why am I doing it wrong here? That's why I'm feeling that. And it helps us keep a track record of how your body's changing and evolving over time. Because every time we're coaching you through it, we're documenting the process. So what happens is we're getting you a custom workout plan specific to you. And then we're showing you how to tweak it. And then you get to see the results throughout. So we give you the accountability, so you can work it at any of your time. We're watching the videos, we're coaching you through, we're building the exercise, and then we improve and adjust as we go. And because it's videoed, we now know exactly how your body's responding. So it's no longer a guessing, and I'm kind of seeing it here. It becomes a process. Does that part kind of make sense for you so far? Who here, like, I'm just giving a different example. Are you guys following with me? I'm trying to reframe that prospect's belief about how online fitness works. Right? If I'm trying to justify the cost, I'm like, yeah, people will pay. Anyways, so that's a version of how I could explain how the online works. Okay. And then rather than you doing this on your own, we have a group and accountability. And I could just sell all the features that they now believe that online is better than in person. Did anyone picture that example? Everyone sells something and everyone knows that there's beliefs about your offer. Marketing doesn't work. In person is the only way I do it. I don't trust strangers online. This is too much money to pay for this thing. This is a cost. This is a loss. I never make, like, there's always all these beliefs that people have. Your job is not to get masterful objection handling. You can get really good at objection handling, and yes, you can serve anyone, but the mastery is being like, how do I handle all these things up front so I don't have to deal with the objections? So I was trying to use a fitness example. If I sell online fitness coaching without the in-person feel, what's the most common objection you think you would get from a prospect?
And need an in-person trainer.
I need an in-person. So you have to sit there and you're like, I have to sit there and be like, okay, this person is going to be fixated on he needs in-person. How can I help them dissociate from this and understand that virtual is actually the way to do it? So I have to build a compelling case about it. This is not actually the good thing. This is actually the best thing. And here's why virtual is that much better. And I have to build the reasons. And I'm trying to sprinkle that throughout the sale in advance. So when I get to the presentation, when I get to the price drop, they're already like, this is the greatest thing out there. They now believe why virtual is better. Is that okay? Now I'm seeing some head nods. So we're moving. Okay, that was good. That was good. Okay. So I have to think about how I'm going to sell them on why virtual is better. So can someone here drop in the chat? What would be one reason in your mind that virtual coaching would be better than in person?
More, you have more flexibility in terms of times you hit the gym, that sort of thing.
Okay. More convenient, do whenever, schedule, perfect. What else? Keep it coming. Don't be shy. Why would it be better? Recording sessions. Okay.
I think a big one would be, oh, we're typing in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on age, keeps them away from pandemic or flu. Good. Not relying on someone. Great. Not feeling embarrassed. Not being judged. Right. You can impress people at the gym because like you look like you know what you're doing without getting that mentorship. Because some people can feel a little bit shy about having someone guide them through. They feel insecure. Isn't that true? Yeah. So it's really about learning, because the game of sales is about framing. So if you guys already see all those reasons, I'm going to bring those up in the sale up front. So the prospect, as we're moving down the sale, they're like, yeah, online sounds like the best thing since sliced bread. Custom workouts, recorded sessions, scheduling, feeling professional, getting your friends on board, impressing that girl at the gym, whatever the case may be. There's so many that you could stack. But if I stack those up front, they're not going through the whole sale. Yeah, but online doesn't work for me. The online doesn't work for me. Online doesn't work for me.
Can I add in a concept you taught me that I think was might be helpful?
Okay, and I'll open up the next call. Enoch, DM it to me.
So the concept that Anas shared, and I saw one of the person who had the Facebook ads issue drop something in the chat, which made me think of this. There's kind of like 3 sales you have to make, right? And depending on the tier of the prospect, you have to put less effort. But like if you have like a tier 4 prospect, which is like the hardest, basically they don't know anything about your stuff. They not really super problem aware. You first have to sell them on like there's a problem or something that they want to get to. They need to be sold on like change need to happen. Then they need to be sold on like the overarching mechanism of change, for example, in this instance, like Facebook ads. And then they have to be sold on your version of doing Facebook ads and marketing. So like, but you have to get one before the next one. Otherwise it's going to kill a sale, right? They could be sold on, oh, you're the best Facebook ads person on the planet. But if they think, oh, Google ads are better than Facebook ads, it doesn't matter because they're not going to go with you. And that was something like Anas taught me super early on regarding like cold outbound, where I was like, oh, like, I need to make sure one sale's done and they're bought in on this before I move on to the next topic. So I just something I wanted to throw out there.
Yeah. He's talking about closing doors on all the other alternatives.
And real quick, crazy win, $4,100 deal just now.
Let's go.
Howdy.
Let's go.
That was so stressful.
Oh my God. Congratulations. $4,100. Damn.
Come on. Ending the week at $15,000 in comps.
15,000. What a blessing to get to do this work in a week.
Seriously, in a week. The team did like 40 something, and I did like 15 of it. So
the crazy online world that we live in. So congratulations. Give it up for Tony. Why are you guys not celebrating?
Come on,
Tony.
Yeah.
Come on,
Sender
Tony.
just made $4,100
Let's
in
go.
commission in a day.
100K a month, Tony.
Yeah.
Can you guys see the call? Congrats, Tony.
Thank you.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Let me see what I can do, because usually our bigger contracts are for our bigger deals. This is, you're kind of like, test driving our system, so it's not going to be like a whole big thing.
Okay.
Let me. Do you want to take a photo of this? I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, I took a photo of this one and the screen with the map too.
Okay.
Just so I could see like in writing what it looked like. Yeah.
Why are you asking someone to take a photo of it?
You just wanted to, look over.
Sounds like you're about to get it. I need to think about it.
Yeah, he was giving me that, but I was trying to get him to pull the trigger on this. It's with this offer here. I don't know if Enoch filled you in. Our main two offers is a 9K offer and then a $5,000 program. But with this trial offer, we cover 100% of the upfront costs, and they just have to prepay for the first 3 live transfers.
Yeah,
$750.
I got you.
So it's really not a huge investment, but
I got you. All good. That's beautiful context. Thank you. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Okay. By the way, Jay sells realtors. I'm getting a lot of the realtors today. Okay. Jay sells realtors marketing services.
Yep.
I'm gonna make a quick call to see if I can get that contract just to send it over to you. Usually we have to.
If you can send it over, I'll look. This is not a soft no or anything. Like, I will take a look at it, and see what the stipulations. Maybe the middle option will make more sense, or even the first option. But
you're not confident in your ability to, just because we want to walk me through what you're thinking. Meaning, whatever you decide to do with ads, we'll just convert as many as possible and just give you the business, off the ground. I'm gonna skip over a lot of these.
Sure.
And listen to these. Just out of curiosity, on a 1 to 10 scale, and kind of where are you with their systems, and what do you think?
Yeah, it sounds. I mean, so far it sounds like a lot of other systems, but yeah, I'm just curious about pricing and stuff.
Sure.
Oh no! Oh, that's a knife insert. Okay. So Jay, this is not a objection handling problem. Like that's my whole messaging for everyone. I'm like, you don't want to get to the point that you can objection handle. Like, I can teach you all the objection handling, but what did everyone just hear the prospect say? This just looks like all the other systems.
It's not different or better.
It's not different or better. And we're at 2x speed, and that took him a while to just give a response on that. So there's a very lacked enthusiasm on the offer. Mm-hmm. So if it's not unique or anything, now you just entered a commoditization war. They're just going to go, who is cheaper? Because they have no frame of reference of what to compare or any of that kind of stuff. So it's already pretty tough here at this point. Okay. So I wouldn't have continued to a price drop. I would stop the screen share and I would unpack it here. There's no point in going into the price.
Can I interject for a sec?
Yeah.
So the reason why I decided to keep moving forward,
and I need you, Jay, to pace up the response.
Pace up the response.
Yeah, hit me faster.
Yeah. I wanted to get him into the trial offer for him to touch and feel and test drive our systems, so that he can see that what we have to offer actually works. Because a lot of people have been burned, and so that's why I moved forward and try to get him on the trial.
You would have been better off stopping the share, unpacking the thing, and then selling him directly to the trier rather than giving him 3 options.
Okay. I thought that maybe showing those 2 other options would kind of raise the value of our systems. And so then the trial would be like, okay, that'd be a no-brainer to just give it a go.
The thing is, the purpose of a sale, if you have multiple offers, is you're the expert. And based on your situation, I would not go pitch 3 things and just do a downsell. That's like conventional old school sales marketing. Your job
Okay.
as a salesperson is to be like, what actually makes the most sense for this prospect? And in this case, with this gentleman, I would be like, hey, just for context, I would skip the slides and I would unpack the stuff. And if he's not super sold, I would just be like, hey, our program is $9,000 at so and so. I'd give him the highest package, and I'd be like, I think based on what you're at, you might have seen too many things that may have bucketed or clouded some of the thinking, and I would hate, for us to not be able to do business because of a miscommunication on our end. What we can do is do something a little bit crazy and then just pitch them the trial and be like, actually go try it for yourself rather than so and so, and just sell the trial. Rather than trying to be like, pay us this much, pay us this much. Okay, now pay us this. It also makes you look desperate. So
one, I think would be
Logically,
best for you
too,
to start off with.
yes.
In my mind, and Jay, you put yourself in the position of a buyer. It's almost like you go for the pricing and then you drop trial, and they're almost just like, well, if I would have objected, then you would have offered that to me. They're kind of like, well, what if I wouldn't have said anything? Would I have?
Because it's also like the next slide. Like it's so cheeky. Like this style of like, okay, next slide. Like you're not taking them through a funnel. Like if you're a funnel and they go and they're like, okay, they didn't buy the thing, then you go OTO, one-time offer, upsell. They don't buy the upsell, downsell, then go super low ticket. Like this is not a funnel where they just go next page. You're the salesperson. So what I would tell you to do here is, for you guys as a business, is stop sharing the 3 slides based on what you saw. Pitch the offer that you think is going to hit the best. Like stop, open that up, share that, pitch that, try to close on that. And then if you fail, then come back and try to get a backup off. Jaded.
Also, it seems like
you guys got to put your hands on Zoom. Yeah.
What I did say before I dropped price and everything is I told him, hey, there is an offer that I think would be the best fit for you, but I want to show you, everything that we have just so you can, see what we got. And then I'll show you what I think would be the best fit. And that's when I ended up, to the trial.
So maybe to help you before we go in, I think I'm going to teach one huge sales concept just on what we're going to see here. Okay. So everyone just pay attention. And what I want you to think about is certainty in the result. I want you to just pretend, because what I just saw on the slide is this 1 million in GCI for context in real estate. That's gross commission income, like whatever. That's their commission that they make. Okay. So the focal point here is $1 million in commission. Okay. Who here, if I told you, hey, you're going to be a high ticket closer and you're going to make $1 million this year, who here would believe as a high ticket closer that this year you would make $1 million? And that's possibly, okay. Like the chances get way lower. Yes. It's not impossible, just way lower. Okay. If you're a business owner, sure. As a high ticket closer, first year. Okay. So now you're talking to a real estate agent, and I'm just going to see just this part.
12 months, and wanted it sooner, and a lot of agents wait until 12 months. It's already been there, move forward. This allows you to really be on top of every person that you come across. So it's super valuable. Okay. Before I move on here, I want to show you a little more about how we generate the leads and qualify them for you. So we've got a marketing team that, they're always getting better. They bring in hundreds of leads consistently on a monthly basis. Now, the most important thing and our bread and butter is the ISAs that we have. Are you familiar with ISAs?
No.
So it's called an inside sales agency. So basically, it's a group of guys that they call through all the inbound leads that we generate for you. So they're doing the vetting. Rather than you having a lot of lead gen companies, they'll generate leads. Technically, they'll do the marketing and they'll bring in like 100, 200, 300 leads, and they'll send them to you, and you call through them. It's a bunch of people that are tire kickers or window shopping, just someone that just clicked on a listing that qualifies as a lead technically, and then agents end up wasting their time. Like, dude, I just paid a bunch of money, I'm not getting business out of it. We don't do that. We want to make sure we're only giving you people that are fully qualified and that need a realtor. So because it's a very commonly asked question, our ISAs, we don't hire out of the Philippines or India where you immediately hear an accent. Like,
he's not listening to just so we're on the same page. Okay. Let me just.
What are you picking up on that's making you
a realtor?
So, I'll show you.
Because it's a very commonly asked question, our ISAs, we don't hire out of the Philippines or India.
Okay. I'm gonna slow down. It looks like he's trying to read and follow along.
India, where you immediately hear an accent, like 50 people in the background, and you just hang up. That. That I do that myself. I think most people do. Owners certainly will.
Yeah.
Our guys are from the US, the UK. They work from 8 to 8 every day, every time zone, and they have sales experience, which is super valuable. So they know how to build.
Okay. Okay. Let me just pause. Why is the focal point $1 million in commissions? Whose goal is that?
I think Enoch might be better equipped to answer that question.
Enoch, guys, I don't know why you would like. It's not custom, and I don't know why the million is the focus, because, okay, if I'm him, I'm like, okay, so these guys are saying I'm going to be a millionaire this year. Okay. Do you get what I mean? And then wait, they're pitching $1 million to every single thing. I'm not even going to talk about FTC compliance. This is the completely different topic that I won't entertain here. Okay. I would not go position my offer as I'm going to be the company that's going to help you make $1 million. Because if that was your offer, your sales call should look like this. Hey, listen, we work with the top 1% of 1% realtors across the nation. Our offer is super jam-packed. Most of our realtors, it's not a fit for them. They have to have a brokerage, 7-person team minimum, doing 15 million in sales on their own. They have to blah, 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 blah. And then we help them add on an extra $1 million in commissions. Almost every single call is a no for us. So we're just looking for the 3 or 5 people that fit that criteria that we can go help them with our system, because it is literally not for 99% of the realtors. So this conversation is just to see if you're part of that 1%. If that was the pitch, that offer would make more sense as how you guys positioned it. Are you all tracking? Like, it doesn't make any sense to go pitch, I make you $1 million as a marketing company. My brain is going to go, who is this kid? That's where my brain's going to go. This kid's telling me I'm going to make $1 million. What does he know? He's not even a realtor. Right? You're going to trigger so much distrust, and so much, what I told you to pay attention to is certainty in the result. Who here, if you're the realtor and you watch that, do you have certainty that these guys are going to get you $1 million? Anyone?
And because that doesn't ring true, nothing else does. It's all attached to something that's just like unbelievable.
That's the point. It creates so much disbelief, okay, that now that I don't believe this, I automatically don't believe all the other stuff. Do you understand? So it creates so much distrust and so much resistance that it's unneeded. So I would fully scrap that. And I would do something more digestible, more realistic, more achievable in someone's mind.
What would you suggest that we reposition that or revise it?
Dude, you could do 100K. Guys, how many realtors make 100 grand in GCI a year? Do you know that 65% of American realtors, there's 1.55 million realtors across America, 65% of them make less than 3 transactions a year. They make less than $8,000 in GCI per year. Do you process the math? That means over 1 million realtors in the United States of America make less than $8,000 in commissions a year. Yeah, you just said, wow, I know you're muted, Jay. Okay, did you all catch that? So I'm like, you're like, $1 million. I'm like, dude, who are you talking to? Okay. So you can't just go throw this stuff, because I don't even know who promotes that to say go put $1 million claim on that. Okay. So it's just not a right fit for the types of lead, for the caliber, for the stage of the business, but also more importantly, that you're talking to more of the entry level sub 100K a year guys. Okay.
Yeah,
don't blame Asa.
That
Okay.
Asa, the owner, it was on him.
Okay.
But we'll get that revised.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize
you all need to revise that. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were shooting ourselves in the foot like right off the bat and losing trust just from that point in the call.
He's like, Anas, I did 10x, I did 10 million. So we only get the high talent people. Okay.
It also would make sense to like analyze their stuff. I don't like pitch decks, and us, I think probably on the same page, because it's like it's so generalized. It's like a VSL.
I'm fully against pitch decks, but I'm not trying to change everyone's world on this call. But like, just so you can have the thing that you work with to fix, I would remove the million. Okay. If anything, you could keep it blank and then fill in their goal that you acquired. So let's say they said, I want to make 3 deals a month. Okay, cool. That's on average 15K in commissions. Cool. That's in a year, I don't know, 180, whatever. Be like, okay, so here's how we can help you start working your way to the 180,000 and fill in their number. I'd rather you do that than put a pre-made number, right? Or do 120K, so it's 10K a month, like something way more digestible in their mind that they can make sense of. It's the same as you get someone, doesn't matter what you sell, let's say deals or money or growth or loss or whatever. Like if I said, Claremont, if I said, like, do you help clients on like the weight loss, the nutrition, the workouts? What part do you help with?
So like the main thing is I do muscle building and then just like performance coaching.
Okay. What kind of claims would you tell a client? Like if I came to you and I said, I want to like, beef this up.
I just tell them that, within 3 months, you could add 5 to maybe 10 pounds of muscle. You'll feel more energetic. You'll feel more confident. You'll look better. You'll be more presentable. You'll probably close more deals. You'll probably attract a girlfriend if you already don't have one or two.
Sign me up. Man,
yeah, let's go.
Yeah, come on. Let me wire you some money, please. Okay. So do you guys notice something he said very important? Who here believed that? Every second of that.
He said 5 to
5
and
maybe 7 pounds of muscle. See, that is real. And on a 3-month timeline. If he said, man, we're going to get you huge, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, because he knows that's who I'm aspiring to be like, right? And he's like, man, we're going to get you that yoked, 100 days, completely different. No one's going to recognize you, right? Ashton Hall's going to be like your babysitter. Like, we got you covered. Okay. And he hits me with all of that. I'm like, that's, the older guys call it like too pie in the sky. Like it's too, like it's so unbelievable. But if he tells me 5 pounds of muscle, which I don't like that because in my mind, I'm like, dude, I want way more. But I'm like, I believe it. So because I don't distrust the result, I can already have trust in him. But if he started saying, I'll get you 15 pounds, or I'll get you this many deals, or I'll get you this much results, or I'll get you, and he over embellishes, over hypes it, you then kill the certainty in the result. And if you lose that certainty, I can't believe the other things. It just creates a circle of distrust. Y'all tracking? Thank you for sharing that. That was super helpful, Fairmont. Okay. And if you guys are in the South Florida area and you're trying to add on the muscle, feel amazing.
Claire.
Okay. All right. I'm sure his ego is already huge as it is. But if you look at it, does he look like the kind of guy who would deliver the thing that he's talking about?
Yes.
The answer is yes. Okay. Like there's a lot of congruency in he looks like great body. He's got the nutrition, it adds a lot of the congruence. But then you go and then you're like, I got this pitch deck. I'm going to throw these random numbers. I'm going to make these random claims and I'm going to sound nervous. Or I'm going to be calm and I'm not going to be, there's no like connection on the call and all of it. It's like, now they just don't believe that. Then the whole sale just starts to crumble on its own. Y'all follow? Okay. Folks, I'm going to do rapid fire Q&A to close this out. Was that helpful for y'all?
No, drop some ones in the
my
chat.
newcomers. Thank you for hopping on. Great to have you. I should ask. I'm always very curious. For my new guys that showed up, I think if you mentioned Anthony, anyone new, I'm always curious. How did you end up finding the tribe? Was it Instagram, a YouTube, a friend in the chat? I love that. Appreciate it. Means a lot to me. Yeah. Jay, wrap us up.
Yeah, quick question for you. When you get like a Karen on the phone or someone that's like, hey, just tell me what the pricing is. I've been on so many of these different calls. Like, I don't want to waste my time. Just tell me what you guys have to offer. And they're not willing to hear me out and let me take the time to get to understand them and their problems. How would you calmly and like kind of, when they're coming off very abrasively, like how would you, smoothly articulate, hey, I need to understand you, what your problems are, fill you on what we got going on, and then we can talk about price.
Yeah. So simplest answer, if you think Karens are out there, like you're already losing the battle, you got to fight to remove from people. Don't put impressions and judgments on people because you have no idea what they've gone through or who they are. So if you think she's a Karen or he's a Karen, they're going to be a Karen, and you're going to build a Karen. What I believe is there's a ton of amateur salespeople that burn the marketplace by amateur conversations because of that old way of thinking. Karen, and then they treat her and they trigger her. And what probably happened, she's probably been on 4 calls, and she's just like, guys, I don't know what you do. I just want someone to tell me. You all keep taking me through these long, painful sales processes, and you ask me all this stuff. You do a 2-minute presentation. I don't understand anything. And then you try to make me buy on the spot. And she's just like, I've been on so much of these. I just want someone to just shoot straight with me. So she's coming on, most likely not frustrated by you. She's just like, I'm just frustrated about stuff. Okay. Like I got on a call. I knew it was a 50 grand offer. I just wanted to literally, I had a couple questions, and I was like, I'm ready to commit. And I was like, I respect it. I love being sold. I'm like, sell me, like, take me through your whole process. And we go through, and I'm just like, the guy literally shared virtually nothing. Like I went through the whole process, respectfully, and I shared, and I this. I'm like, so how does this thing work? How does that thing? And did you? He's like, we just get you that. We do that. You get access to our team. I'm like, but what does the team do? Anything that you need. I'm like, so could they do that? If that's what you need, we could do it. They'll build that. And they just, I remember by the end, and I was just like, dude, you just unsold me. I was like, I still don't know what you actually deliver. I literally did not know to deliver on a $50,000 offer. Okay. And I just got off the call, and I was just like, well, this just kind of sucks. Do you follow? So imagine I went on to a similar second call, and I'm just like, please, bro, I'm qualified. I want to buy. I love being sold. I'm a sales guy. I just want to understand what you do. And if it aligns, like, I will piff right now. Do you get what I mean? So like, I might imagine I went to 2 of those. Am I a Karen? I don't know. Maybe you could say it. I'm like, dude, someone just give me. Because what most people do in the space, they go, I don't know if I could just help you yet. I'd have to learn a little bit about your situation. It just really depends. Why don't you tell me this? Let me ask you that. Let me interrogate you. Let me ask you your life story. Let me ask you another thing. Let me ask you another thing. Let me ask you another. What do you do? Let me just keep asking you a bunch. I don't know if I can help you yet. I'm sorry. I don't know. And they just like suck the life out of prospects. And then 7 other people do the same thing. And then by the time they get to you, they're just like, guys, please, just someone tell me something. You understand? So the battle's already lost if you think someone's a Karen.
Yeah.
So
I shouldn't have said it or used that word.
That's cool. That's why we're here. It's the coaching, right? It's just like,
it was more of just like
trying to ascend. But I understand your question. I'll answer it. I'll answer it. Someone comes in abrasive. I'm like, whew, damn, man. I'm like, is it really that bad? Are you getting through a bunch of calls? Everyone's speaking to you a whole bunch of bullshit, making promises, just wasting a lot of your time? Because I'm assuming if you're back here, you never found what you found. You never found what you're looking for. Is that right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, boom, right now, I already have rapport. They're like, this guy gets me. I'm like, hey, no worries, man. We'll jump straight into it. I love it. You're in it. I'll give you high level what we do. We'll dive a little bit deeper. We'll make sure there's alignment, and we can kind of wrap it up pretty quick, so we can rapid fire through it. But just kind of before we go into have some idea. Do you have any context on what we do? Do you look us up, or you kind of just like, hey, I'm on this call, I'm just trying to figure it out? Is this kind of the first time you're coming into this? And then they're like, yeah, I don't really know that much. Okay, I got you. Hey, no worries. I'll keep it super simple. So just give you high level. Boom. Here's what we do. Jay, something that's gonna kill you. I'm pacing up that fast. I'll go very fast pace. Do you understand? So one thing is not just what I'm saying. I have to pace up. Pace is the speed at which I'm speaking. Okay?
Gotcha. Okay.
And I'm just gonna just get into it. And I'm like, sick. I'm gonna have a quicker call. Like, I'm happy with that. Those are my favorite clients. Okay, elite, because they get access to my sales call. I have a call. Guy goes on. I won't go on camera. I fucking hate these calls. Just tell me the fucking price. If I like it, I'll buy. I'm qualified. I don't want the bullshit. I don't want to go through the sales process. Blah, 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 blah. Just like full aggression. Like 10 out of 10 aggression.
Would you say that to them? Be like, hey, I love that you want to get right into it. Faster sales calls are great. Let's just dive right in.
I mean, I wouldn't say the faster sales call part, but
yeah, or like something along those lines.
I love that you're coming into it. I love that you're wanting this. I apologize. It sounds like you've kind of gone on a bunch of calls, been through the ringer, didn't really get what you want. I'm so sorry. I know that could be a painful experience. I will make sure that we keep this super quick, so respectful for both of ours. And I love it because someone like you're quick. You know what you want. You know what you're looking for. So it's super easy. So we don't have to, dance around anything or go through the BS. So we can keep it pretty quick. Just so I can help you best real quick, so I can tell you a little bit of what we do. Did you by chance look us up or kind of, get briefed on any of that? Or is this all brand new? Cool, brand new. Hey, no worries. Okay, so kind of just to give you a little bit of content. Boom. And I'm just gonna what do you do? You have to go explain that to someone.
Yeah.
Don't assume, well, no, tell me all this stuff so I can see if I can help you. It's like, what do you do? right? It would be like talking to Claremont. He's like, I do fitness. I'm like, okay, cool. But like, what do you like? And he just keeps telling me, well, I help people. I help men. It's like, well, no, I help people, build muscle, feel amazing, incredible, this, that. It's a whole program end to end, but like you might not be a fit. So I just want to learn more about you and ask just to see if what I do is actually aligned for you. So tell me a little bit about your fitness journey. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm like, if I don't know what the thing he's delivering me, I have no reason to continue the conversation because I don't know what he has to offer me.
Yeah.
But if I know up front that he's going to help me get bigger, I was like, well, I'm trying to get bigger. So he already has my attention. Do you follow? But without that, there's no reason for me to continue. And if he just interrogates me, I'll get triggered. If he just keeps asking me questions. Anas, final question.
Octopus.
So I just have a question about door to door. I have to stop.
That's why you're in the car. Okay,
yeah,
hit me.
I'm in a neighborhood right now. I literally stopped knocking.
Okay, cool. What do you sell?
It's anything cleaning, like window cleaning,
cool.
pressure wash, party.
Man, we should knock the door together. You should put me on speaker. Okay, cool. Window washing, cleaning, outdoor. Okay, hit me with the question real fast.
So I always like to keep it very simple when I knock the door, and get right to the point, make it as fast as possible.
Uh-huh.
But is it a numbers game? Is it try your best to keep them long on the door, like always the conversation for as long as possible?
It's definitely not a numbers game. Anyone who teaches you that is just doing the amateurs game. It's not a numbers game. That's what all the guys do. They just go, hey, what's up? I'm this. I have this stuff. Do you want to buy it? That was a reframe. Sorry, I couldn't help it. It is a numbers game. This is that. That's not how you do door to door. You don't need a ton of doors if you know how to get into them. Okay, so simple answer is yes, it helps to get to the point, but you don't want to come off as a pitchman. And it depends on the neighborhood that you're knocking. So right now, are you knocking an area that's been beat down, like it's been knocked by a bunch of people?
I'm not sure, but this is like a suburban. Every house here is like around 2 to 3 million, if I have to guess.
I apologize. Let me rephrase the question. Are you knocking doors that have been knocked by other vendors and solicitors?
Most likely, yes.
Okay, so let's say you're going to a door. I'm like, hey, what's up, Janet? I'm like, hey, listen, they told me you guys already had 5 or 6 people come by your house already, right? Cool. I'm trying to be lucky number 7. Listen, I'll keep it super quick. I know everyone here comes talk to you, tells you, promises you all the word. I'm not sure. I don't fully know what you sell. Like, you have to learn to disarm and humanize people, have a more meaningful conversation. And the key where you're at is get really good at throwing hooks. So you got to do a lot of pattern interrupts just so you can break them out of the noise. Because when you call someone, it's the same thing as a cold call. If you cold call someone, in that first 5 seconds, they're in fight or flight mode. Yeah, we're not interested. We already got it. We don't need it. Yeah, we're good. They're in so much sales pressure. So you have to break them out of the hypnosis because they don't think you're a real person. They're just treating you like we're not interested. We're not interested. So they're not listening, right? So you got to get really creative. Like, you can come in, you see a good lawn, and I'm like, hey, I was just about to leave. I got to ask you a crazy question. It's going to bother me in my mind if I don't ask you. Please just bear with me. They're like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, between us, what's the secret? And they're like, well, what are you talking about? I'm like, man, I'm looking at you guys' lawn. And like, either you got a kid that you put to work or you got a secret company, but you got to start helping out your neighbors. What's the secret for the lawn? And then they're like, right. And I'm like, it's just a genuine thing. Someone might have a bell chime on their door. And I'm like, this is a good lullaby, man. It's like you guys were waiting to welcome me. I appreciate it. My name's Anas. And you are? So nice to meet you. And I can start, you just have to keep changing the patterns and the interrupts over and over and over. That if you win that first 7 seconds, the only sale, trying to buy more time so you can move the sale forward. Okay. So you got to get really creative. You can't be that robot that goes, hey, here's the same pitch. Here's the same pitch. It's not a numbers game.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. So you got to get creative. We should all watch you knock a live door. But I will wrap us, folks. Yeah, we should see you knock a live door. You guys want to see him knock a live door? Yo,
let's go.
hands up. You want to see
Let's
him do a
go.
live door? Live door. Okay, Anas, you're going to take the phone and you're like, hey, guys, I'm new. Hey, guys, don't hate me. I'm new to door knocking. These guys are holding me accountable. It petrifies me. Like, literally, I want you to do that. And just go show them the Zoom. And that will get you into the door. You ready? Let's go, Anas.
1 second.
Let's go. Let's give it up, guys. Let's give it up for Anas. Where are you knocking?
I'm in California right now. I'm knocking.
Let's go, baby. Little Cali love. Let's go.
1 second.
Okay, respect. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, put us on speaker and then be like, hey, say my friends have a message for you. Like, hey, what's up? Listen, he's a great guy. Like, we'll hype you up. We're all gonna just wait for you, okay?
Okay, 1 sec.
Just, hey guys, I got a quick message for you. Okay, you ready? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's just see if I can. I mean, see off the jump, you got.
Don't
like,
be scared.
no
Just knock.
soliciting, no
Just
soliciting.
knock it. Knock
Just knock
it.
it?
Always knock, no soliciting. Those signs are made to deter the amateurs.
Okay.
Those are the best doors.
All right, let me see if I can reach anybody.
Okay. Hey guys, let's go. Let's go. Hey, be confident. That heartbeat, that's excitement. That's excitement, baby. Come on, baby. Enoch's just dying. He's like, yo, he's gonna do it. Let's go. She used to say you're the police.
I can hear the dog. I just can't hear.
Okay. Hey, knock harder. We can't hear you. Don't be a princess.
Oh, I put the.
Oh no. You always ring the bell, then you knock. But you want to do a melody. Don't make it like do a song. Okay, just don't do a cop knock.
This is a door knocking masterclass.
This is the softest knock I've seen, but it's okay. So always ring the bell, give it like a second, and then do a knock, and you want to do a lullaby. You don't want to do an aggressive police thing because they'll come like very fight or flight thinking it's the cops. So you want to like ease it in with a song.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, next door. Okay, go next door.
Okay. All right, let's just next door.
Get excited. Actually want it to open.
All right, let's go.
Okay, and we need to get you visors, man. We got to gear you up.
Can't look like an average door knocker. We gotta look like a construction.
Oh, I usually have like an electric scooter, like going around and stuff, and I have like a vest with my equipment.
Okay,
so.
cool. Okay,
Yeah.
next door's the one. Next door's the one. Let's go, baby.
All right.
Okay, next door's the one.
I'll knock this one instead of just doorbell.
You got to knock way harder, man. The house is big. We got to work on that.
The dog is like barking, so
we're all watching. It's okay. Dogs are great. Don't be scared. With a big dog, I heard him. I got a little scared. Come on.
Should I go next?
Go next, just for now. But normally you want to stay in the pocket. Anyone here ever knock doors? This is all live, first time experience. Okay.
Actually,
I saw Claremont and his girlfriend.
Bro,
Okay.
That was my first sales experience. was knocking a
Okay,
couple
so
doors.
good. I see you both
these
like
people look forward to
cautiously in the back.
And
Oh,
can you run
good.
through your door-to-door pitch real quick? Like just how you like get like what's your like go-to? If I'm like, yo, go knock a door, just like get in, like what would it be?
Before what Naz just told me, it's usually like extremely simple. I'm just like, hey, how's it going, ma'am? And then, they're like, oh, it's good. If there's like a little dog coming by, I'll just be like, is that the guard dog of the house? Like make a little silly joke. And then I'll cut straight to the point. I'll just be like, yeah, so I'm doing window cleaning for the entire house. I've just helped out Mr. Jason down at bypass lane.
Yeah, I would move away from all of that and ask. That is like the problem with door to door is same like the online ticket space. It gets recycled for like a decade. I've heard those same pitches over 10 years ago. I'm not even joking.
What's
Claremont, did you hear similar
your
stuff?
go-to?
Did you knock doors for fitness or something else?
Oh yeah, for fitness, because like I'm in Fort Lauderdale, so it's real nice, and I work with a lot of like high-end people. So I just knock. I just tell them I'm on a mission to save a bunch of lives, and I hope that they're next. And I give them my little flyer. I bring my girlfriend with me. She smiles.
So good.
Pretty, bro.
So
It's
good.
presentation. It's energy. It's not really about say. Just say, hey, yo, I'm here. I want to save lives, and you could be next.
Amazing. So good. Anas, did you catch that? That is probably the most important thing he mentioned, because sales is just a transfer of energy. So he's like, I go in and I bring life. And he had a mission, which I loved. I'm here to save lives. I'm hoping that you're next. And she's smiling, and his girlfriend's smiling in the back.
So one of the things it's really
Keep knocking.
hard.
Don't stop walking. Keep knocking.
It's really hard to maintain like that energy after I would say like the 80th door. Because you get beaten down, like you get tired and stuff. That's like one thing I noticed after doing this for 2 years.
Okay. Different conversation for
Can we
different
hear
times.
Chief Cinder's go-to pitch?
Well, keep it a teaser, David. I know you're itching for it.
I'm so curious because like
I played
feel
you
like
guys a bunch of my door-to-door stuff. Did I not? Were you there?
No, I haven't gotten a bunch of your door-to-door stuff.
I'm gonna let Anas. I'm gonna teach one final thing because David's cutting out.
Yeah.
To close us out. We're waiting, and as soon as you get someone to open the door, just point us like, "Hey, my friends have a message for you."
Oh, okay.
And then I'll stop talking, and then we'll all just like jump in. Okay.
Okay.
I will probably say, I think one of the most important skills to learn in sales is to understand, and like when you're new, it's harder, but as you kind of go through it, is one of the most powerful thing is to learn how to do NBC callouts. And those show up at any part of the sale. And it's just knowing to be like, okay, this person has this thought or belief or objection about me, my offer, my industry, or my company, or something. And when you can call it out at the right time, it instantly diffuses the objection. So if I'm using the door knock, I'm like, hey, listen, I know, half-balded man knocking at your door. You're like, what the heck does he want? If I just said that up front, and it's probably something that they're thinking, it automatically negates the objection. Y'all follow? So the call out mastery is, if I know, for instance, I'm going to tie it back to online and in person, all of that. If I know a neighborhood gets knocked a lot, one of the most important things is I'm like, hey, I know I'm like probably the 5th or 6th, 7th guy here, right? And then they go, yeah, you're like the 7th. I'm like, listen, some people have like a tally at the door. So I was just checking if you guys are keeping the count. Okay. So if I call it out in advance, I just disarm that whole objection. The same thing is when you're on a sale and you could be like that gentleman that came out and he's like, hey, I know you probably met with a whole bunch of companies.
Hey, man, how are you?
Hey!
Good.
Ole,
No, I'm just coming by real quick. Just wanted to say I'm doing window cleaning for the entire house.
And it comes with a big
and I wanted to
celebration.
help some people out, trying to see if
And
anybody needs help real quick with it.
I have a guy who comes out regularly, and he was just here.
Okay.
Can we talk to her, Anas?
Outside windows.
I see. I have some people here. They want to talk to you. Is that fine? There you go. Man.
Hello. How you
Let me
doing?
put my glasses on.
What?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey,
I love the
good
pink.
to see you.
So good to see you. How you doing? What's your name?
Dora French.
Dora, what a beautiful name. It matches the beautiful pink. That is so good.
Is that a relative of yours or no?
No, because his name is Anas. My name is Anas. We're all here to support him. He's new on this and he's a little bit nervous. And he said, Dora, she's gonna be mean to me, and I'm scared. And
actually, he was excellent. Knocked on the door. Gave me a little bit of time to get to the door.
Nice.
Very, very nice. I'd be going with him in a heartbeat. But I have a regular guy that comes in, and he was just doing all the windows on the outside.
Wow. We would never want you to not take care of the other person. And I just want to thank you for how patient and loving you've been with him and helping him get that boost of confidence. I do have.
Tell me you got there.
Yeah, we're all here to support him. So if you did get the window cleaning service with him now or in the future, it comes with us. You get a chant, a monthly video.
You like you can do, like a to-do guy to go to.
Yes.
If I need lifting, moving, and stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not more than just window cleaning. I do like 8 different other things: car detail, pressure clean.
So Dora, I have a really big ask from you, and you're gonna hate me for it. Okay, it's actually 2 asks. One is you sound like you're taken care of, and you got just such a beautiful energy. So I want to honor you for that. I wanted to ask you, who else do you know, maybe in the neighborhood or somewhere else, a friend, a relative, a neighbor, someone you maybe not like, that could maybe benefit?
Anas.
Anas.
Yeah.
So if I get Anas's phone number, I will have them on call for me. I often have,
Here's my card.
not just, like lifting and moving stuff that I can't handle. Like 73, it's all breaking down systematically.
Wow, could you shock me at 73? You look way younger, so
Thank
congrats.
you.
That's beautiful.
I
He
appreciate
could
that.
he could definitely help you with that.
Reframing, roof cleaning, pressure washing. I just had the back patio pressure, but I'm going to be using you. So yeah.
Good. And
I-
do you have a neighbor in the neighborhood that
Yeah,
maybe
I've got
you
a
think
few.
is there someone that you could I know that I told you it's a crazy ask to maybe
No.
introduce
I
them?
totally get what you're doing, and I wholly support you. I'd be doing the same thing for my relatives.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
So, do you have more than one of these?
I do have more than one. I brought
Can I do like just two? I'm gonna give this to Laura.
Sounds good.
So, yeah. Okay.
He's so good. So good,
So
Dora.
I'm not gonna give you their names, but I
That's
will
okay.
give this to my neighbor Laura.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
guys
All
have more in
we
the car
ask.
of these things?
I do
Yes.
have more than one.
Yeah.
It's just I left it in my car. I
Yeah.
brought two more just in case.
So I'll take one more.
Yeah,
I'll
of
give it
course.
to Michelle.
Here you go.
Okay, well, hey,
Okay.
nice to meet you. And
So
your
nice
brother,
to meet
is
you.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are.
Your brother is fabulous. So are you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
thank
We
you.
appreciate it. That's a big heart we're sending you. We're all gonna
Thank
send
you.
you one right now.
Actually, we're gonna get much more out of it than you will. So it's a
Wow.
good thing for us.
Amazing.
Thanks. Nice to
Thank
meet
you so much. God bless you. Have a
Thank you.
great day.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
I've got all kinds of little stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll look at this and I'm impressed. So
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I
Thanks.
appreciate it. Do you need help getting the packages in? Are they too heavy?
Yeah, this one's a little heavy.
You need help with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
We're in the home.
Where would you like it in?
Yes.
All right.
What a beautiful home.
That's fine. Oh, beautiful. How beautiful backyard.
What a beautiful
That is
home.
beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
That is awesome. All right. Well, I'll be heading out. Thank you so
you.
much for your time. I
Nice
appreciate
to
it.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, let's give it up. Was that fun? That was so beautiful. That was so good.
That's a pattern interrupt right there.
Okay. So all you need, Anas, two things for the future. For anyone you ever meet, get the phone number. Always pull out your phone. Hey, what's the best number to text you at? Take a selfie video. And in your case, your selfie video is a little mini sales letter. You say, hey, Dory, it's so amazing to meet you. I love that you take care of your clients and you want to make sure you service your person. I just want you to know I'm here. If you need pressure washing, this, that. Don't feel bad if you want to ask me for help, or, if one of your friends, needs to help, I'm here. I'm the local, blah, blah, blah. And just reinstate your services, reinstate something, make it memorable, and make sure you text them that video live time. And just always get it to them. Okay. And whenever
Got
you
it.
leave any door, whether they buy, don't buy anything, just like, hey, just before I go, I got to ask you a crazy question. I got to ask you a silly question. I'm going to ask you something. You're going to hate me for it. They're gonna be like, what is it? Like, I know this is not for you, but who else do you know in the neighborhood, a friend, a family, or maybe someone that you don't even like that could maybe benefit from something similar that we can connect with? I know this not
This
be
is-
for you, but maybe for someone else. Okay.
This is in person or like over text? Or like a video?
Anything ever. Any human you ever speak to, always ask for a referral. Always and forever.
Okay.
Who else do you know? 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 That was magical. Was that fun? And ask, go kick some ass. We're going to kick you out of the room because we're closing out. We appreciate it. Was that fun for y'all? That was so beautiful.
It was great.
That was fun. Yeah, that was good.
Thank you for that.
Friday.
Now he's going to have energy for the rest of the day. Go bring the fire. Go bring the fire. So for all the ascenders, thank you for being here, for being engaged, for showing up. For some of you that are new, my only big ask, right? I show up, we pour. I'm literally going to pass out after this. I have one more call, and I'm going to collapse and die in my struggle. But in all of this, my only ask is to go post in the group. There is, when you make a post, there's a channel called Takeaways. Just share a takeaway, an insight. Okay, I have a batch. I love going through them. I'm going to be going through all of them. The big purpose of it is to help you solidify the learning. And it's also for new members. So you guys don't know, there's going to be hundreds pouring into the community here very shortly. And it's going to go into the thousands. There's going to be a huge ramp up coming up. And one of my big things is, obviously, I pray that you guys get a ton of value. My job is here to serve. My mission is a global movement to turn selling into serving and making high performance a way of life. I'm always going to show up and serve. And my ask is, I'm like, when you share that takeaways, it inspires me, teaches me. I go through it. It helps you guys, but it's also for the new members as they come in and they're like, oh, wow, like there was this, how are these all these takeaways? Where are they at? Because I always want to make sure that they show up and come to the call so they can also get value. They can also be part of it. Maybe we end up doing a group door knock. That was super fun. So thank you, Anas, for that experience. So my big ask is go share the takeaways, go share the insights, lock in the events in the calendar. We're going to be adding more calls and more structure and craziness in the classroom, as I gave you a little bit of a sneak preview. It'll only get better from here. And as I say always, for the ascenders, I'm like, every day we all get the same choice. We can be average, we can descend, we can go backwards, or as I like to say, I'm like, you have to fight to summon the best of who you are. For those of you that know, when I woke up, hot, light, flash, 1% recovery, dying food poisoning, all sweat, feeling like crap, I'm like, I still went to the gym, felt miserable, dizzy a bunch of times, wanted to cancel the day, and I'm like, this whole conversation of fight to summon, and I have to fight to summon, because imagine I let me feeling like crap, I got dizzy maybe 6 times on the call here, right? And I'm like, if I let that become like, but today I got to go rest, I got to recover, we wouldn't have had this experience, right? So I look at that and I'm like, I have to fight today. I have to fight to summon. I'm going to rest later on. But sometimes in the game for all of us, sometimes the fight is you make that extra call, you knock that extra door, you do that extra follow-up, you stay in the objection handle a little bit longer, because every single day that you fight, job one, the only mission always is to fight to summon the best of who you are. And that's what the conversation is. I truly believe God put us in here to do great, amazing things, whether you're faith or not. What I do know universally is we all have so much more potential inside of us. And the more we access our fullest potential, the more we connect with our best version of ourselves, the more we summon him or her into the day-to-day, the better we are into the world, the better role models, the better examples, the more people we serve, the more lives that we touch, and the more we get to fulfill our highest calling and purpose. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Share your takeaways. God bless you. We're going to celebrate you, and we'll see you guys next week. Ciao. Appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.